Hello, welcome to my channel, Isle of Avalon. Today, I will be doing a general collective reading. Let's see, I feel like pulling some runes today. And we'll go with the Crow Tarot. Okay. And we're just going to get right into it, see what comes out. All right. So whatever it is, it'll be. Okay, so what is the message for today? What is okay? Let's see, what does Spirit want Collective to know today? What does that Spirit wants Collective to know today? And we'll do one more. One more card. One more. Ooh, that was too many. Way too many. That was a little too many. I don't know why I want to keep those out though. Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, that's what it is. So, let's see here. All right. So I'm really just looking at the pictures here. Now, I did a reading yesterday. I posted about being the star of your own show, and I channeled the Black Cohosh plant spirit. And if you haven't watched the video, definitely recommend, especially if you come across this and it resonates with you. I definitely feel like these two are highly involved with each other. So, I am speaking to a collective of people, individuals who they're on the verge of something really big. It's a huge breakthrough. And I'm not telling you anything that you need to know. So maybe you've had an idea, because you definitely already know this. Maybe you've had an idea about starting something, doing something. And you may have had some resistance. And again, that's what the channeling I did yesterday with the Black Cohosh. It talks about using your sacred rage. Channel that resistance into creating what you want to create. Because again, you see all these. It looks like fire, right? It looks like a sun. It looks like fire. And that's that sacred rage I'm talking about. Use it to do something good in your life. Do what you want to do, and persevere, right? Because it's really important that we do that so that we don't end up stuck in situations, narratives, things with people that we don't really want. It's about us doing what we want to do. You're the star of your own show. You always have been. You always will be. Nobody can take that away from you but yourself. And it's that's why it's very important for you to really, really stand in your truth and your authenticity, and that is that fire. Your truth is your fire. That's your power. That's the source of your integrity, everything. And there's a lot of I don't really get into all the chakras, but if you do, that's that solar plexus energy. It's really solar energy. It's fire. It's creation. And you are the creator of your own narratives, your own stories. So, you know this, and you may have been thinking about starting something, doing something. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's a new hobby or new project. maybe it's there's something you've always wanted to partake on. Maybe it's a move you've always wanted to make. Maybe it's somewhere you've always wanted to travel to see. It can be so many different things, but there's something that you have been holding back on for a long time that you haven't taken the steps, you haven't used that fire, that sacred rage to pull through it, because you have been stuck in pacifying other people. You've been stuck in worrying about all these things that really aren't worth worrying about what other people are going to think, worried about how it's going to affect other people, people that you don't need to worry about it affecting, right? And I'm not talking about like your kids or like people you immediately live with, people that you plan on keeping around for a long time. You know what I mean? Of course, you have to consider them when you're making big decisions. But if it's people who, like distant relatives or friends that you really don't care to keep around, or associates that, maybe people at work that are going to, whatever. Again, somebody is always going to have something to say. So who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? You're an adult, they're adults. And if people are that worried about, what you're doing, or, they want to be judgmental, they can go somewhere with that, right? Because your life is about you. It's about you and what you want to do. So never forget that. Don't live your life according to what someone else wants you to do, or what you think somebody else wants you to do. Because that is how you end up in the energy of being the star of your own show. And people will see that. They will see you doing that. And what will happen is things will start to fall in place for you. When you start doing and living in your truth and authenticity, people will see that. They will start to look at you instead of, and things that, in a light that you may not like, that's not ideal for you. Those people will start to fall away. And what will happen is you will start attracting more people, situations, places, things that resonate with your truth and what you truly want. And that is to be the star of your own show, right? That's to be recognized. It's to be acknowledged, to be I've essentially put up on a pedestal. See, you see this as like a pedestal, and this fire is spinning around this star, and that's you. That can be you. And that's who you want this to be, right? That's who you want to be, and how you want to be perceived. You want to be front and center of your own life, right? You want to be front and center of a situation. And I'm definitely speaking to people who know that they have it within them to do that. So do it, like, do it. Okay. And yeah, all these other birds, all these other people, all these other things, once you start to do that, and this wheel starts spinning the way that you want it to, they will look up and they'll be like, wow, look at Collective. Look at the great things Collective is doing. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, I wish I could do that. Wow, that's so great. And again, always going to have naysayers. It doesn't matter if you're living your best life. You could end world hunger. You could solve all the world's problems. And guess what? There will still be somebody who's like, oh, well, I could have, and like, ignore them. Who cares? Okay. And again, in the universe, such as balance. Okay, nothing can be all positive and nothing can be all negative. There has to be both. It's balance. And that's just how it is. That's the way it works. And nothing can exist if it isn't in balance. There might be some things that are fully perfectly perpetuating for a long time, but eventually it has to come down. It has to crumble, and that's just how things work. So don't let it deter you. Don't let it stop you from doing what you want to do and living your best life. Okay. It's about you. It's about what you want, and everything around you, once you start doing what you want to do, everything around you will start to fall into place. And that is how, you get into this Ace of Pentacles energy. And once you start spinning inside that wheel and living in your truth, you stand on top of all the wealth, all the abundance, all the beautiful things that you want to do, right? And you conquer. And you you have everything you want. You're living your dreams. You have everything you need. All your needs are met because you are the one who is taking control of your life. Took now in this the way this layout, that's past, right? And it seems that if you haven't already done this, you will be very, very soon. I'm definitely speaking to a group of people who are on their way to achieving this Ace of Pentacles energy, or they certainly will be very soon. And again, that's channeling that sacred rage. That sacred rage. See this red? Red is a color of power. It's a color of passion, rage, courage, strength. And then yellow, creativity, inspiration, perseverance. And when you flow with those energies, you can come into this big pentacle, this big Ace of Pentacles, and this pentacle, if you look at it, it's a pentagram, and that is a symbol of protection, right? And again, in doing this, Spirit favors that. Spirit wants you to evolve. They want you to take charge of your life, live the way that you want to live. And by doing that, you will be so blessed. You will be so blessed. And you already are. You just, you have to see it. You have to believe it. You have to really stand in it. And, you know, the more you realize that and understand it and start to look at the things in your life you're already blessed with, it will start coming to you more and more and more and more. You just have to stick with it, right? And channel that creativity, channel that fire, that rage to create abundance in your life. Instead of standing in this wheel, right? Eventually, you will come to a point where you are standing on top of that wheel. You are the king, the queen of your own world, your own universe. And then, you know, you will be surrounded by all of these gifts, all of this fulfillment, everything, ascension, jewels. Your heart will be fulfilled. You will be crowned. You will have everything. You'll be enlightened. All the things, everything you've ever wanted is in your hands to get. And it takes you taking charge and taking the lead of your own life. And that's in the present. You know, you're in your present. This is where you could be. You're either here or this is where you are. And I feel like too. There's a lot of aces here. Let me take some time to evaluate this. Okay, yeah, okay, I get it now. So, okay, so do you see how there are these clouds and stuff, right? There's a lot of clouds here, and a lot of fog. I don't know about fog, more clouds. And do you see? Okay, so for your future, you'll be standing on this beautiful big magic wand castle. All of your blessings and you'll have all these coins, all this fulfillment. You'll be standing on all of your wealth. You'll go from building this pinnacle, building this, and just getting started using that fire, that sacred rage, that creativity. You would just be getting started. And then, you know, you'll start to see all these things starting to flow and build around you. And you'll be like, wow, look at all this. And then, very soon, you will, if you stick with it, if you persevere, if you stay courageous, if you stand in your truth and your power, wow, one day you're going to be standing on top of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wand, all this magic, all this abundance, all these blessings you've generated in your life by just being yourself. Look at all those coins. Look at all of that gold. Look at that. Everything you need, all of your needs met, everything you want. And wow, you'll be looking back on all the steps that you took. You'll be looking back on all the steps that you took. Look at that. You'll be looking back on all of those steps you just took from that Ace of Wands. And you'll be like, wow, look at all I've built by just believing in myself. Look at that. That's amazing. Amazing. Right? You can do it. You can do it. And you're guided, you're divinely guided, protected, and you're supported. Look at all this support. There's so much support for you. And there's so much blessings that now I associate white feathers usually with angels. And you know, if you're familiar with working with angels, you will definitely know what I'm talking about. If not, if you're seeing a lot of white feathers, and also like gray, like you'll see them like floating around you. Sometimes they'll just randomly fall and they'll seem to come from nowhere. And if you don't, you're definitely going to start doing that, and that'll be your confirmation. Or you're definitely going to start seeing that, and that'll be your confirmation. You're definitely divinely guided and supported in doing whatever it is you want to do, anything. And you can have everything. Everything is yours to have. And all you have to do is work on yourself. All you have to do is believe it, see it, start to actually take action. You have to take action to get those things, right? And then, even after you look back, after you've gotten all of this stuff that you want, and you'll be like, wow, look at all I've accomplished. Look at all the support that I've had. I'm so grateful for this. Look at all this. And then, that's why this popped out. And then you will look back and you will have applied all of the abundance, the knowledge, the prosperity, all of the blessings that you've been collecting, that you had collected from what you've started building when you didn't even have anything to stand on. You didn't have anything. You were just kind of up in the air. And then you started to build, and you started to stand on these things. And there wasn't very much gold under there, you know? It was an open field. It was an open pathway. And then you started to collect all these beautiful jewels. You started to collect all this knowledge, all these blessings, all these new beliefs. And then they piled up. They started piling up. And you were like, wow. Look, I got to do all these things with them, right? And then you build a foundation. You actually put some walls up, put some guards up around your garden. You planted some trees. You've got some decorations hanging around. You've got some your flowers are a little more organized. They're standing tall. They're blossoming. They're beautiful. It looks like you've really been taking care of this garden here. You've built your own security, your own protection from the garden. This has grown. And you see how that's part of the garden now. It's part of what you built. Your foundation, what you stand on, it's part of you, part of what you've built, part of your garden, part of your foundation. It's not made of all the things that you've collected anymore, because you've done something with those. You've done something with all those things, and now you have a beautiful foundation that is ever regenerating. And that's what we want, right? That's what you want. And look, you're taking all these flowers, all this inspiration, this knowledge, this courage, this passion. You're putting it into power. You're putting it into practical use. And you're looking back on that pinnacle that you started with. You're looking back on that pinnacle you started with, and that crazy garden with all those ideas and all those challenges, those all of that courage, all that fire that you have. You took it and you started standing on it. You started building something. You started putting the pieces together. You started collecting new things, new ideas, and they started to fulfill you. They started to fill you up so much that you finally had enough supplies to build that garden and get some structure going on around your life. And you hang up that old pinnacle. You hung up that old pinnacle. And you took some of these coins, you took some of these, because you had so much, and you built a memory of looking back on where you started and where you are now. And this will be you, definitely, very soon. You have to stick with it. You have to stand in this energy and really believe in yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter what other people think, what they say. It matters what you think. Never let anybody take that away from you. Never let anybody try to tell you who you are, what you're doing, try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. And if you have to be silent with people because you know that they do this to you, do it, because it's what's best for you. Okay, do what's best for you. Okay, because for you to get into this energy, for you to build these solid foundations, for you to stand on these pinnacles, for you to collect all of these things, for you to have a life of abundance where you have so much wealth and things flowing to you that you just like, wow, I got to do something with these. You will build a foundation with it. You will. You'll look back and you'll be like, wow, look at that pinnacle I started with. Look at all those coins I started with. I had so many coins, I had to melt them into something just for decoration, right? And it all starts with you being like, I am the center of my life. I am the center, the star of my own show. And it doesn't matter what these birds think. It doesn't matter, because guess what? They're not standing in the center of their own show. Do you see all this rings of fire around them? No. They're all just standing there in a group talking amongst each other, and that's all they're doing. They haven't gotten anywhere. They're not working, you know? And don't be like them. Be like you. Okay? So that's a message that I have for you today, and I hope you like the way that I read. If you're interested in booking a personal with me, definitely check out my website. I'll link it in the description box. And yeah, so that's what I have today. Blessed be.